Hi, and welcome to the Butler Buzz. I'm your host, Kate Stutz, and I'm sitting here with Dr. Nicholas Newpower of Butler County Community College. Welcome, Dr. Newpower. Thank you for making time for us.
Kate, as always, thank you, and a happy new year to you and the viewers.
Yeah, happy new year to you too. And everything looks so good over at BC3. You guys have pivoted and, put things online for all your students, and you just kind of picked up where you left off. So we're really impressed with that. I've gone to BC3 myself, and I love my years that I spent there. Can you tell us what's new at BC3?
Thank you so much for those comments. I'll tell you, a lot of hard work by a lot of people in order to pull this off under these very unique circumstances. Today's our first day of classes, although as I look out of the president's office, I do see sunshine, snow, and pretty vacant out there. And that's because we are starting the spring semester in a way that even what will eventually be our face-to-face classes, of which there are about 40%, we're starting off the spring semester in a virtual capacity. And then 3 weeks into the semester, we will transition into the face-to-face. Now, our workforce development has continued in a face-to-face capacity, but it was a really good decision just to allow a little bit more time for this COVID situation to play out. So we feel pretty good with the decision that we have made here with a very supportive board of trustees. And the spring semester seems to be off to a good start. Along with that news, we did end up canceling our winter sports. That would be men's and women's basketball along with volleyball. But we still have some great hope that for the spring sports, which would be men's baseball and women's softball, along with our golf team, that we'll be able to go forward, especially since those are outdoor sports and have a good season in each of those sports.
Yeah, that does really sound promising, being that they're outside. And I think everybody is, pretty understanding after everything that's happened over the past year, and especially over the winter, with the indoor everything kind of being more, a little more questionable, that they're more receptive to the canceling. But it's still a shame. But I think you guys are, you're providing things afterwards that really makes it special. So can you tell us a little bit more about your new campus that you're going to have going on? I think we're all really excited for that.
Yeah, would absolutely love to. So I'll provide you with an update on BC3 at Armstrong and even what's going on our main campus here as part of our All In for Nursing. It was recently that we announced an exciting expansion in Ford City for BC3 at Armstrong. Presently, we are in a building that is across from the Lenape Career and Technical Center. We have just a couple of classrooms and very small space. And because enrollment continues to grow for our BC3 at Armstrong, we entered into a great public-private partnership spearheaded by Representative Pyle with support from Senator Pittman. We received a state grant of $1.75 million that will go toward the construction of a new BC3 at Armstrong. Certainly want to mention the Armstrong Board of Commissioners, who pledged $250,000 toward this capital project, and private support in the amount of $220,000. So we're expecting an opening in 22, and we will do what we do best, and that's provide that high quality, accessible, and affordable education, much like we have in Butler County for many, many years. And just like we have also in the Newcastle area, Sharon area, of course, Lawrence and Mercer counties, as well as in Brockway, and we'll be able to deliver that to the citizens of Armstrong County. Closer to home here on our main campus, our $18 million, what we reference as our South Main Campus project, the new maintenance building with the construction of the Victor K. Phillips Nursing and Allied Health building that will house our Schaefer School of Nursing and Allied Health is well underway. The maintenance building is probably about 50 to 60, 70% complete. And once we get through this crazy winter weather, we will go ahead and tear down what has been our longtime maintenance building. That would be on the back side of campus.
Okay.
What was originally a clubhouse for the golf course many, many years ago. That building will be raised, and we'll start the construction of this very exciting Phillips building, which is part of our All In for Nursing. And of course, that's so incredibly important nowadays with the need for those who work in the nursing profession.
Oh, absolutely. We really value our medical people and our medical professionals, and we can't say enough good things about them. So, you're helping that out too. And it's so much tied to the community. You say, where the building is, and I can actually picture it in my mind from parking there for so many years while attending BC3. And I know a lot of our viewers can do that too, because so many people have been at BC3. So, not only are you helping students, people that have graduated already can still get value out of this. And, it's just great that you're doing that for the community and you're putting it all together. And it does take a lot of work. So I know that everybody really appreciates that. There's so many more people that benefit from it. So,
and we really love being the community's college, and we take that so seriously. The Armstrong Project is an example of connecting with the appropriate folks who really were looking for BC3 to come in that case, really a town and gown type of relationship in downtown Ford City. And we're very good with history here in Western Pennsylvania and referencing where things used to be. So I can say this is where the high school used to be in Ford City. And what we're doing with nursing, with support of the Phillips family, Mr. and Mrs. Larrick, as well as former Senator Schaefer, great partnership with Concordia that we announced not long ago, as well as a unique degree completion partnership with Grove City College. Make no mistake about it, the Schaefer School of Nursing and Allied Health is one of our hallmark programs here at BC3. And what a time to expand a nursing program whenever we have all of this COVID going on around us.
Absolutely. The timing has been perfect. So once again, Dr. Newpower, thank you so much for making time for us today. I know that you are incredibly busy, and we love to hear everything going on at BC3. So thank you for letting us know all the advances.
We very much appreciate Armstrong. Love connecting with a person who has BC3 ties. And please continue and keep up the great work.
We'll do our best.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Dr. Newpower. We'll be right back with our next guest.
At Armstrong, our employees take great pride in supporting the community. Here is a historic landmark that makes our hometown special. McConnell's Mill State Park encompasses over 2,000 acres of the spectacular slippery Rock Creek Gorge. Scenic overlooks and waterfalls are popular natural attractions. Visitors can tour a grist mill and covered bridge built in the 1800s. Brought to you by the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Catch all your favorite local programming on Channel 100 or on YouTube.
Hi, and welcome back. I'm sitting here with Dan Santoro from Cranberry Township. Dan, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me, Kate.
Yeah, great. So thank you for making time for us. I know that you're a very busy guy. Can you tell us a little bit about your new position with Cranberry Township?
Yeah, I just recently took over as the township manager. After years and years and years of working with the township, Jerry Andrew retired after 30 years of a successful career. I've been working with Jerry actually since the 90s and here in Cranberry Township, off and on. And I was fortunate enough for the board to have the confidence in me and to appoint me as township manager.
Well, congratulations. That sounds great. Can you tell us a little bit about why you wanted the position and what you foresee for it?
Yeah, so I've been working in local government, like I said, well, since the late 80s. My background, my college degree is in regional planning, and I started in the planning department here in Cranberry Township. There's no better place to cut your teeth in planning and growth than in Cranberry Township. And I worked for the township through the 90s and 2000s, and found a real love for local government. I have a real love for local government. I did leave in 2006 and went out in the private consulting world for about 10 years and had the opportunity to come back in 2017. And during that time away, I really realized that my passion is really working for local government instead of consulting for local government. So the opportunity to come back here and work on the ground was just a great fit for me.
Sure. It sounds like you can really get like personally involved aside from consulting, like you're going to be personally involved now.
Yeah, the difference between consulting and actually working is, when you do the consulting thing, you go in and maybe you do a plan or work with a client, but then you leave that client to implement that project, and you don't have the opportunity to see or feel the satisfaction of the fruits of that labor coming to fruition. So that's why I decided to come back. It's really a great opportunity to see that hard work, translate into reality.
Right. So you can like work alongside them. That sounds wonderful. So being that we are in a pandemic and there are so many challenges that we're facing as a community, what challenges do you see Cranberry facing right now?
Yeah, some of the most immediate challenges will certainly be financial from a budgeting perspective, and it's something that we have been planning for and anticipating and adjusting spending as a result of potential revenue shortfalls and being very careful in terms of hiring and things like that. But in addition to that, there's certainly the local business impact. The service industry has been impacted here, and in Cranberry, we've been looking for ways to assist in however we can to help those businesses get back on their feet as quickly as possible.
Right. So many things have happened in Cranberry. There's been, a great amount of growth, which is fantastic. What do you see as being Cranberry's next big thing in the upcoming years?
So there's a number of, last year we had a record year in terms of development. And we do expect that growth to continue. There's lots of new development going on, but certainly the area down around the Lemieux Center and the business park there, with the completion of the MSA Thruway, we'll see new users and lots of interest coming up now that large transportation improvement is completed. We just learned today that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, who's been in the search for a regional temple in the Pittsburgh area, has announced Cranberry as its location for its regional temple, which is a very big deal in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So that we expect to be dealing with them here in the coming year. But we also expect that commercial growth and residential growth to continue as it has in the past years.
Right. I mean, we see these beautiful new homes being built, so that's all great things happening for you guys. So what can we look forward to happening in Cranberry this year? We have the spring coming up, and everybody's anticipating. Maybe there'll be things to do. We've all been cooped up in our homes all winter. So is there anything that we can look forward to in Cranberry?
Yeah, there's a couple of events that we're really hopeful that we'll be able to do this year. One, the largest summer event that we do here in Cranberry is Community Days, and that generally happens the third week in July of every year, second, third week of July. And we had to cancel last year, like many events, for COVID. And we're really looking forward to, since we missed a year, a really a big celebration, when we can all get back together. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that we'll be able to do that. We'll also be opening, as a part of that, we are rebuilding and doing significant enhancements to our amphitheater in our community park, which is always sort of a center of the activities for Community Days. So we're looking forward to that, and looking forward to planning, just an extra special holiday celebration this year.
Right. Well, I think you guys always do such a great job with the Community Days. I mean, my boys and I come down every year for it without fail. I mean, that is like one of the most fun things that we can do over the summer.
We're looking forward to you coming this year for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So it's like, all keep our fingers crossed that this will go through.
Right. We're going to have to make a decision here, in the not too distant future, because there's a lot of planning and effort that goes into that. So probably in February, March timeframe, we'll have to make a real decision as to whether we're going forward based on hopefully positive news that comes out in terms of the national level and how we're doing with COVID.
Right, definitely. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today and for making time for us. We really look forward to everything happening in the spring, and it's great to hear from you.
Thank you, Kate. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you and your audience.
Yeah, sure thing. All right. Thank you so much, Dan.
Thank you. Have a great one.
We'll be right back with our next guest.
Your world can change in an instant. But what if this could have been avoided? With monitored smoke detectors from Guardian Protection, our 24/7 monitoring immediately alerts you and first responders when needed. Because keeping your family and home safe is our #1 priority. Life is challenging, but keeping your family safe shouldn't be. Guardian Protection. Call 1-800-PROTECT and let us protect your world.
Hi, and welcome back. I'm sitting here with Beth Gillen from Center of Community Resources. Beth, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you today?
Thank you. So thank you for making the time for us and telling us about the Center for Community Resources. I know that you guys cover so many bases. So what we were kind of hoping to cover today is what all you provide, because it is a lot.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
It is a lot. So Center for Community Resources, we've been around since 2002. We started in Butler primarily and have just grown over those last years. And we obviously have our core of services that we provide here to the residents of Butler County. So those services can range from early intervention if there's parents that have concerns about the development of their child, or they may be referred from a pediatrician or family member, hospital, just about that. So we can help coordinate services so that that kiddo then gets on the right track and gets services so that they, can just move on. We also provide services for folks that have intellectual disabilities. And that is, we typically like to get involved whenever someone's transition age in schools. So that's typically about 14 years of age. We work with them and the family and their team just to see what services are needed so that they can be productive and members of the community, or if they need services in their home so that they can stay in their home and stay in the community, with those folks that they're comfortable with and have supports from. So those services run from really birth to death until someone either moves or passes away or just decides they don't need those services or want those services anymore.
Right. So you are encompassing basically like an individual in the community. You're focusing on the individual's entire lifespan.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. You're doing a lot for everybody. So Thank you on behalf of the community for that.
Oh, sure.
Can you tell us a little bit about the services that you did talk about were something that were like more planned out. Can you tell us a little bit about the emergency services that you provide for us?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a big part of the services that we provide to the residents of Butler County and in 15 other counties is our crisis intervention services. And when someone hears crisis, they might be a little intimidated as to what that means. But really, a crisis is whatever's going on in someone's life that's causing them distress. It can range from being bullied to having a family member that has a substance abuse problem to being suicidal. So there's a wide range, and our staff are trained in order to walk that person through their crisis. We listen with compassion. We listen with empathy and just, wanting to find the strengths that individual has so that they can move on from that crisis. Our crisis currently in the COVID situation, we are providing most of our crisis services through the telephone. but we have walk-in services available that someone can meet face-to-face. They can just come to our address, our office at 115 East North Main Street, or East North Street, or they can, we can mobile out into the community wherever they are. It could be at their home. It can be in some other place that they feel safe or just needed to, be at. So, we have that telephone, mobile, and walk-in services. Another great way that we have to connect with our crisis services is through texting and chat. We have a 6-digit text number, and then we also, someone can get connected with us through chat directly through our website.
Wow, that's a lot that you offer.
Mm-hmm.
And you've really made yourself available in so many different ways. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So the last thing I wanted to ask is, we're always looking for ways to help the nonprofits in our area, and that has changed so much with COVID. We have a hard time like volunteering now. So aside from being able to volunteer our time, what else could we do to help CCR out? Like, is there something we can drop off? Is there something we can provide? What's the best way to help you provide for the community?
It's a good question. I think one of the main ways is to promote the services that we offer, to let people know that they can come to us really for anything and we will get them connected. And that can be from the bank teller to folks in your office, to school districts, just that it would be great if, they would connect people to us so that we can do the job that, we are here to do.
Right. Okay. Well, that sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
Beth, thank you so much for being on the show today and making time for us. You provide a wonderful service to the community, and we are so grateful to have you.
Thank you very much. Thanks. We're proud to do it. I will say that. We have a great staff. They're here to help.
Beth, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with our next guest.
We're living in challenging times. But while we're doing our best to stay apart, some people go the extra mile to save the day and keep us connected. Heroes are among us, and I get to call this one Dad.
Hi, I'm so glad to see you.
Hello, ma'am. It's nice to see you too.
Hi, and welcome back. I'm sitting here with Sheriff Mike Sloop. Thank you for joining us today.
It's always my pleasure, Katie.
Yeah, it's great to see you. And, thank you for, protecting the county throughout all of the pandemic that we've been going through. Can you tell us a little bit about the changes that you've made with the sheriff's office?
Well, thank you. We have taken our license to carry from the lobby when the pandemic started, and we've moved into the veterans office that was on the first floor of the government center. So anybody that wants a license to carry, they just come in the front door, go through security, hang a left, and we'll take good care of you.
Okay, yeah, that sounds really easy. Just walk in the door and then you can present all the paperwork. That sounds great. Can you tell us a little bit? We've had some scams going on in the county since the pandemic hit. Can you tell us if you've had any interactions with that? Anything about?
Yes, I've received some Facebook messages and some phone calls in regards to certain types of scams, and every day there's a new scam. So the scams are that you go online and get a license to carry for all 50 states. That is 100% false, 100%. Pennsylvania has about 28 states that they have reciprocity with. So there's no way that we're going to be able to get all 50 states when we have reciprocity. And the reciprocity agreements happen between the attorneys generals of each state or commonwealth, and they make an agreement to honor each other's license to carry. So that's one. The other one is that you can get like a Pennsylvania license to carry, and it's good everywhere. Here again, I'm going to back up and say what I just said. We're only with reciprocity approximately 28 states, and I don't know how you do that. So as far as the scams go, bottom line is this: every sheriff in this Commonwealth including the chief of police of the first class city, which is Philadelphia, can issue license to carry. That's it. In Pennsylvania, those are the only agencies you can go to get a license to carry. Period. End of story. That's it. Now, I do understand that there are some sheriffs, approximately 5 of them, that are using this company called Permitium. Permitium is a third-party carrier that takes your application online and somehow forwards it, and I'm assuming credit card information to the sheriff somehow internally. Personally, I'm not a fan of it because I like the personal interaction with the applicant, if you will.
Right.
And our staff is so good. They're so quick. It's a lot of point and clicks. And, you know, the only holdup we have right now is the state police. And it's only because they're so overwhelmed. And there's been a 64% increase in gun sales. So you take that number and then all the people getting a license to carry, it's clogging up the system. So, for instance, since June of this year, June of 2020, we've practically doubled our license to carry applications from the previous 2 years. Just to tell you what those numbers look like, in 2018 and 19, we're roughly about 2,400 license to carry applications. In 2020, in those 5 months, June, July, August, September, October, we did over 4,600 license to carry applications. And
wow, that's fantastic.
And it's continuing into this year. So we're really busy, but I'm super proud of my staff. They are getting these applications through as quick as they can and getting the license to people. Now, mind you, with that said, people need to understand that since the system is so overwhelmed, that there is a delay. And a lot of people go into what's called a pending category. What we've done with people like that is, if they don't mind sticking around for a little while until their approval comes through, or we'll put it in the mail to you. We'll do that. We're saving a lot of money by getting people to come in here and handing their license to them, which is what really needs to be done.
Right. And that was always my experience in the office, is that everything went really smooth and really fast. So just from my point of view, and I know a lot of other people's point of views, everything has changed so much to where you can't even physically go into buildings anymore. And just having like a little extra patience to be able to, process through everything, especially when the system is so bogged down everywhere, just to begin with. So I think you guys are doing a really good job, and your staff has been, more than amicable, trying to take care of everybody's needs.
Take care of the customer
from a distance. So you have to do everything from a distance now, not just, how you've typically done it for the past how many years.
Well, when COVID hit back, January, February, we moved everything from the courthouse over to the lobby area because, prior to moving into the old veterans office, you'd have to go up to the 3rd floor, cross the hallway, down the stairs, and then reverse that action. So every time the elevator, you're in with people. So working with the county commissioners, who are awesome, getting that area and then getting into the veterans office is like #1 customer service priority. And they realize that. So with their help, we were able to get into that office, and it is 100% great customer service.
Sure. And thank you so much for being on the show today. And I really appreciate your time.
It was my pleasure. We'll see you again.
Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Butler Buzz.